Hello, Rian. Am I audible? So anyone who can tell me like I'm audible? Okay, fine. So I think I'm audible to everyone. So let's start. So fine, guys. I think in last class, so I was talking about like how to read a file with the help of Pandas library. Now in this class, so we are going to continue with the same lecture, and I will be talking about like how we can try to perform a different kind of a data manipulation operation with the help of Pandas library. So let's try to understand. Let me share my screen. Okay, so your batch is ML28. Okay. So what I will do is I'll just go and I'll download a file which is already available inside your dashboard itself. So here is your file in a data section. So practice and then okay, so this is the file that you are supposed to download. So we have basically like a two file, so based on the data manipulation. So one is a pandas 2 data manipulation and one is basically like a simple data manipulation. So these are the two files that we are supposed to talk about. So fine, guys, let's try to start a discussions on that. Okay. Okay, fine, guys. So I'm going to import a package. So I'm going to import like all the required package as you can see over here. So I'm trying to import a pandas package and then I'm trying to import a numpy package. Somewhere we are going to use this numpy package and this is the pandas package. So I think we were talking about this pandas package even in previous classes. And here, so you will be able to find out that I'm trying to import a matplotlib package. So it's completely fine. So once I will be able to done with the import, so I'm going to import a same old file. So if you remember, so we were trying to load a data from a GitHub repository. So this is the same data set which I'm going to talk about. So here is a file. So first of all, let me show you like how a file looks like. So here is my file, so which is available in some of the GitHub repository. So what I will do is I will try to load this file. And as you can see, so the data inside this file is separated by a tab. So if I have to load this file, so maybe I can try to load this file by using a read CSV or read TSV. So when I'm using a read CSV, so as we all know that CSV will be able to read out a data where, so data will be separated by a comma, and TSV will be able to like read a data where data will be separated by a tab. So I can use either of these two, and then with the help of that, so I will be able to load the data. So here what I have done is, so I'm trying to write like a read underscore CSV, and then so I'm trying to give a separator is equal to /t. It's completely fine, and then I will try to load this data. So not an issue. So here is a data set which I'm able to load, and after loading a data set, so this is how this data set looks like. So in this format, so for sure my data set is not that readable, but if I'm able to load this data in this particular format, so yes, my data set is much more readable. So fine, I can try to fire a head, and then we all know that if I'm going to fire head, so in this case it is going to show me a first 5, and then if I'm going to fire a tail, so in this case it is going to show me a last 5. As you can check the indexes, so it's completely fine. I'm able to read out like a data set from a head or from a tail, and then I can try to mention a number over here. Suppose if I wanted to see like a last 10 data set or maybe a first 10 data set, I will be able to know that. Now many of you can ask me a question that, okay, so what if I wanted to see a data set which is available in between? So even that kind of facilities are available. You will be able to do that. So no need to worry about this. So it's completely fine. I'll show you like how to read a data set in between a certain intersection of a rows, certain intersection of the columns. Each and everything is possible, whatever you can think of. So fine, over here, so I'm trying to fire a command called as data frame dot data type. And in this case, it is going to show me that, okay, so what is the data type of each and every column that you have? So here you will be able to find out that, okay, So it is trying to return like all the data type. So I think we have talked about even this particular part. So whenever we are trying to work in with the pandas, so you're not supposed to work, or you're not supposed to worry about, I would say, like what is the data type of which column. It will be able to understand a data type of each and every column by itself. So suppose if I'm talking about a passenger ID, or maybe a survived, or maybe a passenger class, or name, sex, age, CSP, patch, ticket, whatever. So it is going to tell me that, okay, so this is the data type which system is trying to understand. And again, it is very much important. So suppose if I have to convert some data type of one column to some other column. So in this case, for sure, unless and until like you are not aware about the data type, you will not be able to perform those kind of a operation. So it's completely fine. So here I'm trying to perform this data type conversion operation. Maybe so if I wanted to do a data type conversion operation, so yes, these things are relevant, and with the help of this you will be able to do that without any if and but. Now, so here you will be able to find out that I'm trying to perform some kind of a filter operation. So let's start doing this kind of a filter operation, or let's start doing this kind of, I would say, like different kind of data operations over here in this particular place. And let's try to understand that what I'm trying to filter out in this particular place. So here you will be able to find out that if I'm going to write down, suppose, so this is the data type which I'm having as of now. So in this data type, you will be able to find out that there are some column, or there are, I would say, some feature, or there are some properties which is having like an integer data type, or there are some columns which is having a object data type, and there are some column which is having a float data type. So different column is having a different kind of a data type, as we are able to understand over here in this particular place. So it's completely fine. Now, so let's suppose if I wanted to perform some kind of a maybe filter operation, or maybe some kind of a selection operation I wanted to do based on the data type. So whether I will be able to do it or not. So let's try to understand. Again, it is going to be a very much interesting, I would say. So let's try to understand it one by one. So here I'm going to create one tab, and then here let's suppose. So if I'm going to write Titanic train, what is this? So basically it's my data frame. So it's completely fine. And then dot D type. So we all know that dot D types is going to give me a data type of each and every column automatically, because for sure pandas try to interpret a data type by itself. So you're not supposed to worry about that. It will be able to understand a data type automatically by itself. So let's suppose if I'm going to execute it. So if I have executed it, so in this way, you will be able to find out that wherever we had a data type is equal to object, so it is trying to give me true. And wherever we had data type anything except object, so it is trying to give me a false. So it's completely fine. It's a very simple operations, and yes, it is able to perform all of those operations for me. So it is trying to give me a true false kind of a things in this particular place. One thing is completely fine. Then what is next? So here what I'm trying to do is, so once I'm able to find out that, okay, so it is trying to give me a true false kind of a things. And let's suppose if I'm going to perform this a type operation. So type means if I wanted to know the return type of this entire thing. So in this case, what will happen is, so it is going to return a series. And as we have already discussed that whenever you are trying to work with, I would say, like a pandas data type, so either it is going to return a data frame, or it is going to return a series. So series is nothing but it's almost like a simple list kind of a structure. Or if I'll talk about a data frame, so data frame is nothing but it's a tabular kind of a structure. This is what we have understood so far so forth. So it's completely fine. Here what I'm trying to do is, so I'm trying to write like a, okay, Titanic train dot data type is equal to object. So we know that it is going to give me true false kind of a thing. It's completely fine. Now, so if it is going to give you a true false kind of a thing, if it is going to give you a true false kind of a thing, so it's completely fine, not an issue. So here I can try to write like, okay, data frame dot data type, and then inside that, so I'm going to put this particular condition. Means whatever condition is going to give me this true false kind of a thing. So it is, I'm just trying to put that condition. Now let's try to understand it, what will happen over here. So suppose if I'm going to fire only this set of a code, so when I'm trying to fire only this set of a code, so it is trying to return me true false. So wherever there is a data type is equal to object, so it was trying to return me true, otherwise it is trying to return me false. Now here if I'm trying to call this data frame dot data type, so data frame dot data type, and inside that if I'm going to put this kind of a condition, so I can try to write this kind of a condition over there, that if it is equal to object. So in that case wherever this condition is going to return true, so it is going to give me those indexes, as simple as that. And that's the reason, so it is trying to return me like a name, sex, ticket, cabin, and embark column, because here our data type is equal to, I would say, our data type is equal to object. Now what I'm trying to perform, so now on top of that, so I'm trying to fire index. Now if I'm trying to fire this index, so you must be able to observe, that when I'm trying to execute this one, so actually it is trying to give me a series. And when it is trying to give me a series, so series is nothing but it's basically a combination of, I would say, a data and a indexes. So here, what is my data? So my data set is nothing but this one. And what is my object? My object, or my like indexes. My indexes are basically this one. So my objects are, or maybe a data type is basically a data, because series is nothing but it's a list kind of a structure where it will be having a indexes as well as a data. So it's, if it is a series, so these are the data that you will be able to find out, and these are nothing but you will be able to find out these things as a indexes. So let's suppose if I wanted to extract a indexes out of this one, if I have a series and if I wanted to extract only a indexes out of this one, these are the named indexes. Basically these are the named indexes that I will be able to get. So let's suppose if I wanted to access just a index, so it's completely fine. I can try to write dot indexes on top of any series, and it is going to return me only a indexes. So it's completely fine. It is going to return me a indexes. And now what I will do is, so now I will try to perform a selection operation. So here what I have done in this particular place is, so here I'm trying to perform this dot index, and in this way I will be able to get a list of all the indexes. So I'm able to get name, sex, ticket, cabin, and embark. So these are the column name which I am able to filter out. These are the column name. These are the column name which is available inside my data frame, and these are the column name which I am able to filter out easily. So without any if and but. Now what I have to do is, so I have to filter out all the column which was having a object data type. That was our requirement. Suppose if I wanted to filter out all the column which is having an integer data type, or suppose if I wanted to filter out all the column which is having a float data type, so I will be able to perform each and every kind of operation while doing these kind of things. So here maybe let's suppose if I wanted to filter out all the column which is having an integer data type, I will be able to do that. So it's completely fine. So here if I'm going to execute this one, it will try to return true wherever column name is equal to integer. And then if I wanted to extract all the column which is having, or which is giving me a true value, so in this case what I can do is, so Titanic train, so this is this one, and then D type TYPE, and then in this particular place I can try to implement this filter operation. So I'm trying to write that, okay fine, do one thing, so try to give me only those column name which is having in data type is equal to integer. So based on the data type, I'm trying to filter it out, and from here if I wanted to know the list of, or maybe a series of the column name, I can try to fire index. So index is going to return only the indexes, no data. So index it is going to return for me. So it's completely fine. Now if I'll ask you, okay fine, do one thing, so try to filter out all the columns, or try to extract all the columns which is having a data type is equal to integer. Or let's suppose if I'll try to put my question in some other way. So let's suppose if I wanted to put my question in this way, so suppose this is the data frame, and now what you have to do is, So you have to extract a certain column. Suppose if I have given you a column name, let's suppose like a embarked column you have to extract, and then you have to extract a survived column, and then you have to extract a passenger class column. So if this is the requirement, if I have given you, so what you will do? So Titanic means like whatever is the data frame, and then inside that, so you will try to pass a list of what? So list of all the column that we have to extract. So em, so here is a column name. So what I will do is, so I have to extract like an embarked column, and then what I have to do, so I have to do like maybe I have to extract a survived column. So it's completely fine. I will try to put it over there, and then maybe I have to extract a passenger class column, so I can do that as well. So I can do that as well. And in this way, you will be able to find out that yes, I'm trying to pass a list of 3-column order, doesn't matter at all. And yes, I'm able to extract a data, embarked, survived, and a passenger class column. I'm able to extract. So suppose if we have a list of the column name. So suppose if we have a list of the column name, I will be able to filter out any number of the column. And this is what I'm trying to explain you over here. So based on the data type, if we have to extract something, if we have to perform some kind of extraction, yes, I will be able to perform those kind of operation easily in this particular case. So in this particular case, so you will be able to perform this particular operation. So it's completely fine. Okay, so fine guys, over here, so as you can see in this particular place that here I'm trying to extract data based on the column name or list of the column that I'm going to pass in this particular place. So I'm trying to pass like an embarked column, I'm trying to pass a survived column, I'm trying to pass basically a passenger class column, and yes, I'm able to extract it. Now if I'll give you a requirement that okay fine, do one thing, I have these many columns, now let's try to extract a data where data type is equal to integer, or data type is equal to maybe a date time, or data type is equal to maybe like a floating point number, or maybe data type is equal to object. For sure you will be able to extract it, and to do that, this is how we can write a filter statement. This is not the only way, this is one of the possible way by which you will be able to perform these kind of a operation. It's completely fine. So here, this is what I'm trying to perform out of this operation. And in this particular way, if I'll talk about this A, or maybe if I'm trying to store these things into A, so A is nothing but, so A is trying to represent a list of all the column which was having a data type is equal to object. This is what you will be able to achieve. Now let's suppose if I have to extract all the column, which is having data type is equal to object. So in this case, what I have to do, very simple operation like a Titanic, and inside that I will try to pass this particular column A. And yes, I'm able to extract only those column which was having a data type is equal to object, except that it will not be able to extract any other column at all. So maybe I can try to fire a head over here because I don't want to see all the data. So fine, I'm able to extract only those data, or I'm able to extract only those columns which is having data type is equal to object. So based on the data type, if I have to filter out a data, so yes, I'm able to achieve that particular use case. Now, so the next thing is, so suppose if I'm able to extract this data, then on top of that, so there is a command. So suppose if I'm able to extract all the data which was having a data type as a object data type. So there is a function called as describe. So this is describe is an inbuilt function you will be able to find out inside a pandas. Now if I'm going to fire this object, remember that we have filtered out only those column which was having a data type is equal to object, means in whatever column we have a string like a data structure or a string kind of a data which was available. So I'm just trying to filter out only those column. So describe is a inbuilt function which is available. If I'm going to fire a describe on top of a data frame, so it is going to give me a descriptions. Soon you will be able to understand another dimension of the describe statement. As of now, just try to focus over here. So here I'm trying to fire like a title train and then describe. And then if I'm trying to give a description of that, so you will be able to find out that, okay, so for name column, sex column, for ticket column, for cabin column, for embark column, so it is trying to give me some kind of a description. So it is trying to give me some kind of a description, and it is completely fine. So now let's try to understand that what kind of a description I'm able to get. And soon, like I told you, you will be able to find out another dimension of the same thing. So here we have basically a name column, sex column, ticket column, cabin column, embark column. So yes, column name is completely fine. So whatever column we were able to extract, so like it's the same column which it is trying to showcase. Now here you will be able to find out that it is trying to give you a count, it is trying to give you unique, it is trying to give you a top, it is trying to give you a frequency. Now what is a meaning of this? So what is the meaning of this describe statement that you will be able to find out in this particular case? So meaning is very simple. In case of a describe statement, so meaning is very simple. So it's not a big deal at all to achieve, or it is not a big deal at all to understand. Now here you will be able to find out that it is trying to give you a count. Count means how many data sets are available in a name column. So 156. Now how many data set is available into a sex column? 156. Into a ticket column, 156. And into a cabin column, 31. So in all the column we had 156 data, and in a cabin column we have a what? We have basically 31 data. Now what is the meaning of it? A meaning of this one is very simple. So basically there are some data set which is available inside a cabin column which can have a value is equal to NaN, means a null value. So that's the reason. So it is not equal to 156. So this count operation always try to return the total number of the data, and it always excludes NaN values. And as you can see in this particular place, that yes, it is completely true. So if you will look into a data set, so everywhere in every column you will be able to find out 156 data in every column. But here, so you will be able to find out inside a cabin column, you will be able to find out that there are only 31 data which is available inside a cabin column, and this is what it denotes. Now if I'll talk about the embark column, so in every column we have 156 data, and if I'll talk about our embark column, so here we have 155 data. In that case, I can clearly say that, okay, so it could possible that one data set is missing. So this is what a count operation try to tell you. So count always try to give you the total number of the data which is available inside a respective column. It's simply fine. So completely fine, I would say. So this is what describe is going to give you, because whenever you will start with your data, so first of all, you will try to understand that, okay, how many data set is like a null value in which column. So describe statement is going to help you out with respect to the same thing. Now there is another attribute which it is trying to give me. There is something called as a unique I'm able to get. So it always try to tell you that, okay, so how many unique value we have. So in a name column, you will be able to find out that we have 156 unique values. So I can clearly state that okay, so all the name which is available, or all the passenger who have onboarded on this Titanic ship, so basically each and everyone was having a distinct name or a different name. Now if I'll talk about a unique column value into a sex column, so yes, there was a male and there was a female. So there was two unique, I would say, like a data type which was available. Now if I'll talk about a ticket, so there was 145 unique ticket that we have. It could possible that in a single ticket itself, maybe people have mentioned a multiple person's name. Possible easily. So that's the reason. So we are able to get these things. Now if I'll talk about a cabin column, so out of total 31 cabin, so 28 cabin column name was a distinct one. And now if I'll talk about an embark column, so yes, like a 3 unique embarked column name that we had. So this is what unique is going to represent, I would say. Now the another thing is like given over here, so which is called as a top. So top means you will say like based on the frequency, so whoever comes into a top place, so this is what it is going to give you. So frequency is nothing but frequency is like a number of occurrences. So here you will be able to find out that male was a top because male has occurred 100 times, and for sure in that case so female must have occurred 56 times. Now here you will be able to find out that maybe this ticket has occurred twice, so that's the reason it is trying to give you 2. This cabin has occurred twice, that's the reason it is giving you this. S might have occurred maybe 110 times, and that's the reason so I'm able to get S. As you can see, there was a repetition of the S in this particular case. So this is a kind of a short description you will be able to get out of the data frame automatically, and this is going to help you out more majorly. So it's going to help you out in this particular case. The first row is going to help you out, saying that okay, so these are the total number of the data which is available inside my data frame, or these are the missing values. These are the missing values which is available inside my column. So this is how it is going to help you out. Now the next thing is, so let's suppose I'm able to get a descriptions of all the columns which was having a data type is equal to what? A data type is equal to object. This is what we have done. So we have extracted or we have filtered out all the column which was having a data type is equal to object. Now what I will do is, so I will try to perform another describe operation. So this time I will not try to perform a filter operation. So I'm trying to call my data frame, and then I'm trying to call a describe directly. Now what will happen in this case? Let's try to understand. So here if I'm trying to call a data frame dot describe, so if I'm trying to call a describe operation on the whole data frame directly, so in this case again you will be able to get some kind of a statistics for sure. But what kind of a statistics you will be able to observe? Let's try to understand that part. So here you will be able to find out that it's completely fine. I'm trying to call this data frame dot describe, and in this particular case it is trying to give me all the column name which was having a data type is equal to float or data type is equal to integer. Now so let's try to verify it. So now if I'm going to filter it out, and if I'll try to show you, so let's suppose if I'm going to filter it out integer int 64 basically. So my data frame name dot data types, and here so you will be able to find out, yeah, so here you will be able to find out that whatever data frame or whatever like a column that we have which was having a data type is equal to integer or data type is equal to float, so it is trying to give you a descriptions about only those column, and this is a difference you will be able to find out in between this describe and the describe that we have done. So whenever you will try to perform a describe operation directly on top of a data frame, so it will not try to consider a object column. It is not going to consider any kind of a object column at all. It is going to consider, I would say, only a column which is having a numerical data type. If you are looking for a descriptions of an object column, then you have to filter out those columns in a first place, and then only you will be able to perform this describe kind of a operation. So it's completely fine, guys. No need to worry about that. So let's try to understand. So why I'm able to get only a numerical values, because as you can see, this stats is going to change. It is trying to give me a count, mean, standard deviation, minimum. But in case of a categorical data, it was trying to give me count, unique, top, and frequency. So in case of a categorical data, these are the 4 things it is going to give me. In case of a numerical data, so it is trying to perform a different kind of operation, and this is something that I will be able to receive. Now, what is the meaning of count? Again, meaning of count is same. So it is going to show you that what is a total count of a data inside your particular column. So as you can see that passenger ID 156, survived 156, passenger class is equal to 156, age is equal to 126. So I can say that there are some data set which is available inside my data frame where age is equal to null or age value is equal to null. I can imagine, I can assume that particular part, because in every column I have 156 data, but inside this age column, so I have 126 data sets. So this is the small statistics you will be able to get easily. So you are not supposed to worry about that. Simple, data frame dot describe, and it is going to give you a descriptions automatically. So each and every information it is going to tell you. Now the second thing is, so it is trying to tell you a mean. So mean is nothing but it's an average. So for sure in your stats class, again, I'm going to talk about like what is a mean, median, mode, the standard deviations and everything in very detail. But here again, a meaning of mean is very simple. So I'm talking about basically a average. So here in case of passenger ID, this information, it could possible that this information is not that relevant. But if I'll talk about a survived, if I'll ask you a question that what is the average of a survived people? So you can say that, okay, fine, so average is 0.35. Or maybe if I'll ask you that, okay, fine, so what is a average age of a person who has boarded into this Titanic ship? So you can tell me that, okay, fine, so on an average, a person age was 28 years. This is what you can tell me that, okay, fine, so this was the average. If I'll ask you that, okay, fine, so what is the average fare that people have paid so for this particular travel? So you can say that, okay, fine, so people have paid almost 28 pound on an average, so 28.10. So this is some kind of a statistics that you will be able to extract, or meaningful information you will be able to extract just by looking into this describe output. So this describe is going to give you an output about a data frame. Now, so there is something called as a standard deviation. So I will be talking about a standard deviation. So a standard deviation is nothing but a dispersion of the data set from a mean. So here a standard deviation of the data set is this much. So again, it is having a huge significance while you will try to understand a data. But as of now, I think you guys are not aware about the standard deviation. So you must have seen this kind of a formula. So x minus x bar is square divided by a total data set. So we'll talk about this. We will talk about this, I would say. So what is the meaning of standard deviations, and then how I will be able to find out the standard deviation in this particular case I will be talking about. So fine, I will be talking about a mean, median, mode, each and everything. So fine, here it is trying to give you a standard deviation. So standard deviation always shows me that, okay, so how far my data set is from a mean. So this is a kind of a distance it is going to represent. So this distance it always try to represent on this particular bell-shaped curve. Now first of all, I'll talk about like what is the meaning of this Gaussian distribution, or what is a meaning of this bell curve, and then I will talk about like what is the standard deviations, or what is the meaning of one standard deviation, two standard deviation, and then three standard deviation. So it's completely fine. So it is going to give you a standard deviation for the numerical data set. Now the next thing it is going to tell you is a minimum. So what is a minimum passenger ID? So minimum passenger ID is equal to 1. Now, so again, there is no significance. I would say there is no significance of this one. It's completely fine. But if I'll ask you a question that what is a minimum age of a person who has boarded on this particular ship? So you can say that, okay, so this is a minimum age of a person, or what is a minimum fare which has been charged. So this is the minimum fare. Now, if someone is asking you that what is a maximum age of the passenger who has onboarded, so maximum age is 71-year-old, and what is a maximum fare which has been charged? So this is the maximum fare which has been charged. So these are some kind of a data, like a data insights you will be able to get. Now here you will be able to find out that 25%, 50%, and then 75%. What is the meaning of that? And for sure, many of you will get confused with 25%, 50%, and 75%. So minimum is going to give you, let's suppose if I have a passenger ID data, or let's suppose if I have a age column data. So first of all, what I will do is, So I will try to arrange age column data into ascending order. Let's suppose I will try to arrange age column data into a ascending order, starting from minimum to I would say a maximum. So it's completely fine. So here I'm able to capture a minimum and here I'm able to capture a maximum. So this is the minimum and this is maximum. I will try to just arrange it. Then 25% is nothing but it's a 25th percentile. It's a 25th percentile. So let's suppose if I have a 10 records, so in that case, if I have a 10 records, so in that case, 25th percentile will be 2.5. If you will try to take a closed scale, so in this case, if I'll try to take maybe a ceiling or a floor, so in case of a ceiling, it will be equal to 3. In case of floor, it will be equal to 2. So let's suppose I'm taking a ceiling, so it's equal to 3. So it is going to show you a third record. So it's a 25th percentile. Let's suppose if I have a 20 data. So what is a 25th percentile? 25th percentile of 20 is equal to 5th data. So it is going to tell you actually, or it is going to give you actually a 25th percentile. This is what it is trying to represent. 50 means it's a 50th. It's a 50th data, 50th percentile data. So if I have a 20 record, so in this case, this 50 percentile is going to show you a 10th record. If I have a 20 record, so in this case, it is going to show you the 10th record. Now, if I'll talk about a 75%, so basically it's a 75th percentile. This is how you should understand. So 75th. So if I have a 100 record, so in this case, if I'll try to arrange the entire record, in this case, this 75th percentile is going to give you a 75th data after arrangement. Now, if I'll talk about a 50th percentile, so it will try to tell me the 50th data. Simple. And then if I'll talk about a 25th percentile, so it is going to give me a 25th data out of 100 records. Now, if I'll talk about a minimum, so it is going to give me first data. Simple. It is going to give me first data because I'm talking about the arrangement. If I'll talk about the maximum, so in that case, it is going to give me a last data. As simple as that. So this is the statistics is trying to give it to you. And by using this statistics, you will be able to understand a trend that what is minimum, what is maximum, what is like a kind of a data I was able to get at 25th percentile, 50th percentile, and 75th percentile. Remember that. Remember the notation which I'm trying to use over here. So this is a kind of a descriptions that you will be able to get in case of a numerical column. So if you have a numerical column, so in this case, you will be able to get this kind of a descriptions. If you have a categorical column, so in this case, you will be able to find out count, unique, top, and frequency, because for sure, you will not be able to find out a mean, standard deviation, median, maximum, and all those things for the categorical column. For like a name column, for sure you will not be able to find out a minimum name, maximum name, and all those things. These things are not possible. That's the reason. So I try to give you a two different kind of stats. One is for the categorical and one is for the numerical. So whenever you are going to fire a describe command, by default, so it will automatically try to select only those columns which is having a numerical in nature. So which is having a numerical data type in nature. So it's very simple, I would say. So it's very simple. You will be able to find out each and everything in this particular case. It's not at all a big deal, I would say. Okay, guys. So fine, let's try to understand it this part. So it's completely fine, as we have already seen that if I wanted to extract some kind of a data or some kind of a column, I will be able to extract it easily. So without any if and buts, I will be able to extract each and everything out of anything. Now, the next thing which I'm going to discuss, or next thing which I'm going to talk about is, so how I will be able to perform a sorting kind of a operation. So let's suppose I have this titanium data set, so HEAD, so head, and if I'm going to execute it, so this is the data set which is available in this particular place. Now here, what you will be able to find out is, so let's suppose if I have to extract one single column. So as we all know that if I'm trying to extract one single column, so it is going to return what? It is going to return a series of the data. So let's suppose I can try to write like a Titanic train data set, and then maybe I can try to give a column name is equal to name column, let's suppose. So if I'm going to extract this thing, so this is nothing but it's a series. It is going to give you a series over here. Now if I'll try to check this data type, so typ type, and type is equal to series in this particular case, it's completely fine. Now so if I wanted to get this entire data into a sorted order, so I can try to get it easily. So it's completely fine if I wanted to get the data into a sorted order. So there is a function called as sorted. So sorted, you can try to call it over here, and then it is going to give you each and every data set into a sorted order. As you can see, each and every data set into a sorted order. Now let's suppose if I wanted to extract only a data. So let's suppose if I'm able to get a data into a sorted order, and then on top of that, so let's suppose if I wanted to extract a data only from maybe like 0th indexes till 5th indexes. So yes, I will be able to access a data because this is a series. Now series is almost equivalent to the list that we have discussed in our Python code. Let's suppose if I wanted to extract a data starting from a 0th to maybe a 90th position, and I wanted to get maybe like every 5th data. So I'm just trying to set a step size over here. I'm trying to set a upper bound. I'm trying to set a lower bound, just like a list that we have discussed. And in this case, you will, and again here I'm trying to like give a jump. By default, it will be equal to 1. So whatever we have discussed in case of a list, it's the exact same thing I'm trying to perform in this particular place. Nothing new I'm trying to perform in this particular place. So it's completely fine if I'm trying to execute it. I will be able to find out that yes, it is able to extract a data starting from a 0th indexes till a 90th indexes for sure, excluding a 90th indexes, excluding an upper bound. So I think we are not supposed to mention that part because we have already seen many things in case of a list. So again here, so it is going to extract each and every data, each and every 5th data set it will be able to access, it will be able to extract. So this is completely fine, guys. So I am able to get data easily out of this one. Let's try to understand that whether it is possible to extract a data into a reverse order or not. So 92 maybe a 0, and maybe I can try to give a step size equal to -3. And yes, it is possible. So suppose if I wanted to print a data set upside down. So in this case, what I can do is I can try to do colon maybe -1, and in this case yes, it is able to print a data into a reverse order. So yes, sorting is going to give you a data set into a ascending order. Now if I wanted to print all the data into a descending order, I will be able to do that as well. That is also possible just by writing this colon -1 kind of a things, and I will be able to get each and every data set. So it's very easy, I would say. It's not at all a big deal. And yes, I will be able to extract a data, and I will be able to like do whatever kind of a manipulation which I'm looking for on top of a data set. So this is what I'm trying to show you in this particular situation, that how this sorted is going to work for you. It's completely fine. Now, so let's suppose like let's suppose if I'm trying to extract only one single column over here. So I'm trying to pass my data, or I'm trying to pass my column name in this particular place just as a name. Let's suppose if I wanted to extract a multiple column, then what I should do. So let's suppose I have this data frame head. So this is the data that we have. And then on top of that, so let's suppose I wanted to access maybe a multiple column or maybe a single column, but as a data frame. So in this case, Titanic. And then inside that, so whenever you are looking for some output in terms of a data frame, data as a data frame. So in this case, you are supposed to mention your column name in a list. If you are going to mention column name within a list, for sure you will be able to get type is equal to. So type is equal to a data frame. So here, as you can see, you will be able to get type is equal to data frame, and then whatever kind of operation you will be able to perform on a data frame, you will be able to perform over here. So let's suppose if I wanted to extract maybe like data starting from a 4th location till a 7th location, yes, I'm able to get a data starting from 4th location till a 7th location, excluding a 7th location. So this is how it is going to behave. So I'm able to extract a data set from a 4th indexes, 5th indexes, and a 6th indexes. So starting from 4th till 7th indexes, excluding a 7th indexes, it's simply fine. Now, so let's suppose if I wanted to extract, let's suppose like this is a data frame that we have. Now, so suppose if I wanted to extract all the column name. So Titanic train dot columns if I wanted to extract. So here in this particular case, it is going to give me that, okay, so these are the column which is available with respect to your data frame. So again, it's very easy. So easily you will be able to see, or easily you will be able to know the column name in this particular place. Now let's suppose if I wanted to create a new column, how I will be able to create a new column in this particular case. Let's try to understand it. So suppose if we have a data frame, so Titanic data frame if I have, and if I wanted to add one more new column, if I wanted to add one more new column over here, so again, adding a new column is not a big deal at all. So what I can do is, so Titanic train, this one, and then even I can try to override it. So maybe I can try to give a new column is equal to, maybe I can try to type my name in this particular place. Now, if I'll try to show you my Titanic train again, HT80, so you will be able to find out that it has created a new column over here. It's very easy. So what you have to do is simple a data frame name, and then you are supposed to call, or you are supposed to give any kind of a name over here. So a name which doesn't exist as a column, so far so forth, which doesn't exist as a column. And then what you can do is you can try to like assign some kind of a data. So as of now, I have just assigned a single data. That's the reason. So in the entire column, it has replaced every data set with the SUDH. So this is how it will be able to create a new column. So here it is trying to create a new column easily, and then it is trying to insert a data as a SUDH in this particular place. Now, apart from that, so let's suppose if I wanted to override, let's suppose I have a ticket column and I wanted to change basically all the data which is available inside a ticket column. I can do that as well. So maybe I can try to write a TICK ET over here, and then if I'll try to execute, as you can see, it has replaced all the data with SUDH in this particular place. So it's very simple in case of a data frame. If you have to create a new column, or if you have to overwrite an existing column itself, and again based on the data that you are going to provide, so it is going to overwrite inside a entire column. So column creation is also very easy, as well as overriding a particular column is also not a big deal at all. So you just have to give a same name of the column which already exists, and in that case it will try to override the entire column data. Or else you can try to give any kind of a new column name, XYZ kind of a things you can try to provide, and then it is going to create that particular column inside your data frame permanently. So it is going to create that many number of the columns. So this is how I will be able to create a new column in this particular case. Now, so what I will try to do is, so I will try to perform certain operations over here. So let's try to perform certain kind of a operation in this particular case. So here what I will do is, so I'm trying to call Titanic train passenger class. Now, if I'm trying to call this Titanic train passenger class, so what will happen in this particular case? Let's try to understand it. So this is the data which is available inside a passenger class. So basically, this is basically our indexes. It is going to give you, because I'm trying to pull what? I'm trying to pull a data set which is having a data type is equal to series. So it's completely fine, Titanic train, and then I'm trying to type a passenger class, and it is trying to pull all the data which is available inside a passenger class. So I was having like a passenger class is equal to first class, second class, and third class. Now, So what I will do is I will try to call these things inside a pandas dot categorical. So if I'm going to call inside pandas dot categorical, 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 and if I wanted to execute it, C capital. Okay, so here you will be able to find out. Here we are going to perform one operation. So let's try to understand that what kind of operation that we are going to achieve in this particular situation. So here I have typed pandas dot categorical. Now if I'm going to type pandas dot categorical, and then if I'm going to provide one passenger class. So as we all know that inside this passenger class, I was having a data set 1, 2 or 3. So these are the 3 passenger class that we have actually. So it's completely fine, pandas categorical, and then I'm trying to pass this particular series. So what will happen is, so this is the data type, this is the data set which is available internally. So it's completely fine, 3 to 1. It will try to return, or it will try to tell me that what are the distinct data which we had inside this particular. So it is going to tell me that what is a distinct data which is available inside this particular column. So here it is trying to tell me that, okay, so total we had 3 number of category. Data type of all these 3 categories was integer. And then, so it is trying to tell me that I had basically this 3 distinct data, 1, 2 and 3. So 1, 2 and 3 is only 3 categories which is available inside my data. This is what it is going to tell you. So it's completely fine. This is what I will be able to get. This is what I will be able to understand. So I have basically like a 3 data, 1, 2 and 3, as simple as that, as a category. And yes, inside my data, so whatever data you will be able to observe out of 156, so either it's a 1 or it's a 2 or it's a 3. So it is going to give you all the categories, or it is going to give you all the distinct value. Now what is my requirement? So let's suppose if I wanted to replace 1 with maybe a X, and then 2 with Y and 3 with Z, or maybe 1 with my name, 2 with your name and 3 with my friend's name. If I wanted to convert, or if I wanted to map, so whether I will be able to perform those kind of a mapping operation or not. Let's try to understand it. So basically here I'm talking about a mapping operation, and there are again many ways to perform this kind of a operation. So here pandas.categorical is trying to give you a total number of the categories. Simple. So total number of categories was 1, 2, 3. So yes, it is able to give it to me, this total number of the categories. Now what is our next thing that we are going to perform in this particular case? So let's try to understand it. So once we have done this pandas dot like categorical kind of a things, so what is our next step that we have to perform? Okay, so here what you have to do is, so here you will be able to find out that I have written a categorical, and then so let's suppose if I have to do a mapping, or let's suppose if I have to perform certain kind of a maybe a data manipulation kind of a thing. So how I will be able to perform those data manipulation kind of a thing? Let's try to understand it. So pandas.categorical. Just give me a second. I just have to change something over here so that I will be able to show you the actual use cases. Okay, here. This is what I was talking about. So it's completely fine here. So what we have done in this particular places, so let me try to import my data first of all, because here I have not done my data import. Okay, so here, as you can see, so I'm trying to call maybe a tight gender passenger class, and then in this case, as we all know, that it is going to return me the categorical data. So if I'll try to show you this thing separately, so this is what it is going to return. So it is going to return like a category is equal to 1 to 3. This is the thing that we were talking about. So it's completely fine. Now let's suppose, like I told you, so if I wanted to change this 1 to maybe X and 2 to Y and 3 to something else, I will be able to do that as of now. So this is a value which we had inside my data frame. But if I wanted to map this entire data with something else, it's very easy, and easily I will be able to map these things with any other data set, maybe a numerical data set or maybe a categorical data set. So I will be able to map it. Okay, guys, I think you have lost my screen. So here you will be able to find out that let's suppose, so these are the categories which I'm able to observe. Now let's suppose if I wanted to rename this category, if I wanted to change a name, so how I will be able to do that? So I can try to call rename, rename. So NAME underscore categories. So these are basically a method, or these are basically a function which is available inside a pandas. So CATEGORIES categories. Now, so I wanted to rename this A data. So whatever data I was able to extract out of this, so I wanted to rename 1, 2, and 3. It's completely fine. So with what I wanted to replace it. So like I told you, let's suppose I wanted to replace these things by X, and I wanted to replace these things by Y, and I wanted to replace these things by Z. So because we have three different categories, and I'm just trying to give a reference. So it's completely fine. You will be able to find out that it has done basically a one-to-one mapping. Simple. It's a one-to-one mapping. It will try to perform, and it depends upon the order that you are going to maintain in this particular case. So wherever it will be able to find out 1, it will be able to replace that with X. Wherever it will be able to find out 2, it will be able to replace with Y, and then 3 with Z, because these are the classes that we had inside our data set. So it's very simple. So again, if you wanted to change these things with some other name, like I'm trying to change, I'm able to, or I'm trying to replace these things with the class 1, class 2, and class 3, which is a meaningful information. Or else if I wanted to change these things with maybe some numerical value, I will be able to do that as well. Let's suppose in place of 1, I wanted to keep 6, and then in place of 2, I wanted to keep like a 7. In place of 3, I wanted to keep 8. I can do that as well. So it's completely fine. It depends upon me that with what data I wanted to replace this data which is already available inside my data frame. So I'm just trying to change it. But you can ask me a question that if I have like categories wise, if I have hundreds and thousands of distinct data. So whether this will be a proper way to replace all of those data, I would say that no. Yes, you can do that. No one is going to stop you. It's not like you will not be able to do that. Yes, you can do it, but this is not a proper way of doing that kind of a operation. So this will not be a recommended way. There are other ways as well. If you wanted to replace something with something, yes, I will be able to do that. And there is a way. There is a way for doing that as well. I'll talk about that. So here you will be able to find out that yes, I'm able to perform this replace operation. I'm able to perform this rename operation. Even in this case, I'm trying to perform the same thing. So I'm trying to replace my 1, 2, 3 with class 1, class 2, and class 3. So this is what I'm going to perform in this particular case. And then maybe I can try to store these things into some variable is equal to B. Now, the categorical object has no object called as passenger class. For sure, it won't be having any object. Now it's fine. So here, if I'll try to show you my B, so you will be able to find out that it has replaced each and everything with class 1, class 2, class 3. A simple 1-to-1 mapping it has done in this particular case. Now what I wanted to do is I wanted to create a new column. And then I wanted to store this value inside a new column just for the comparison. So how I will be able to create a new column? So it's very simple, data frame, and then try to give any new column name. So new column, any name, just can try to give it over there. And then it's equal to B, simple. And then if I'm going to call my Titanic train data frame, you will be able to find out that it has created one new column called as a new call. So whatever new column name that we have given over here, and then class 3. So it's completely fine. Passenger class is equal to class 3 class passenger class P class. Just try to compare this with this one, because this is where we have performed a categorical operation and then we have replaced these things with something else. So it was just a 1-to-1 mapping, I would say, nothing else. Now let's suppose if I wanted to override this passenger class itself. So in that case, instead of giving a new column name, just try to give an old column name itself and then try to execute it. And as you can see over here, that it is able to perform this kind of a operation easily. So I will be able to create a new column, or I will be able to overwrite a column itself. In both the places, it's completely fine. Now, so after that, let's try to perform a different kind of a operation. So this is how I'm able to create a new column. I'm trying to assign a value to the new column, or I can say I'm able to overwrite a new column. I'm trying to perform like all this kind of a categorical operation easily with respect to my columns. So all of these operations are very easy, very easily. I'm able to perform all of this kind of a operation. Now let's suppose if I wanted to find out a unique in some of the column, so whether I will be able to do it or not. So fine, let's try to understand it. So here what I can do is, so I can try to search a Titanic train, and then maybe I can try to select a name column. Name is one of the column that we have, and then I can try to fire UNI unique. So here it is going to return me, or it is going to tell me that okay, fine, so what is the total number of what is what an all unique name that we have. So as we have already seen that in case of a column called as name, so we were having like a unique is equal to 156, as we have already seen in our description. So it is going to give you all the unique data, or all the unique data that you had. Now if I'll talk about a passenger class, now what will happen in this case? So in case of passenger class, I have only 3 unique data, class 1, class 2, and class 3. This is what we have done as a conversion. Now this is completely fine. Now what is our next requirement that we have? So let's try to understand what is our next requirement. So I will try to select a cabin column. I'm just talking about the data manipulation, nothing else. So here I have a cabin column, let's suppose. So this is the cabin column. This is how my data inside a cabin column looks like. Now, what is my requirement? So my requirement is a little bit weird this time. So let me show you like a 20 data maybe. So this is my requirement. This is our data which is available inside a cabin column. Now what I wanted to do is, so I wanted to extract all of this first character of a data which is available inside this cabin. I wanted to extract only and only this first character. Only this first character. I'm not looking for all this data. So I'm just looking for this particular first character out of this data. So how I will be able to extract only a first character out of this data? So let's try to understand it. So again, it's not a big deal at all. So you will be able to understand it very easily. Now here, so if I'm going to like if I would like to search for the data type, so DTYPES, so data types. So this is a data type of this one. I can say like a object. I would say it's a object data type that we had. Now, so what I wanted to do is, so I'm trying to call this column and then I'm trying to perform a typecasting operation, because by default, a data type of this particular column is equal to object. Yes, object is almost close to a string data type, but still it's not a string. String is having a different notation and then object is having a different notation. So it's completely fine. I'm trying to call this data type is equal to, I would say, like a string, and after doing a conversion. So what I will do, let's try to do it step by step, one by one. So here, if I'll try to call this one, so it is going to call a column called as cabin, a cabin. It's completely fine, as we know that this one is going to return what? A series, because I'm just trying to select only single column, only one column, and then I'm trying to call as type is equal to str. If I'm going to execute it, this is what I will be able to get. Now, so on top of that, so I'm trying to like, let's suppose I'm trying to store these things inside a char underscore cabin. So if I'm trying to store char underscore cabin over here, so it's completely fine. Now, so on top of that, so what is my requirement? My requirement is to extract a data. My requirement is to extract a data. On out of the data, my requirement is to extract a first character. So first character of every data I'm supposed to extract, and how I will be able to do that. So this is nothing but this is a series, and this is basically a series. Now what I can do is, so I can try to write a for loop easily. So I can try to write a for loop. So for I in char cabin, and for sure if I'll try to print it, so it is going to print all the data in this way. Now what I want is, I wanted to get only of zeroth indexes. Yes, I can do that easily, simple, right? So I will be able to perform this kind of operation with the help of for loop. If I will be able to perform this kind of operation with the help of for loop, so yes, I can try to write maybe a comprehension operation as well, a list comprehension operation. This is what we have discussed in our previous classes as well many times. So here what I can do is, so I can try to write a list comprehension, and then here I can try to write like, okay, so for I in this char cabin, so this char cabin variable that we have created, so maybe I can try to create a variable, or maybe I wanted to hold all the value of a I 0th position. So yes, I will be able to do that. Now if I'm going to perform this operation, so it is going to give me, or it is going to return me a list of all the first character from every data. It's a simple list comprehension operation that we have performed in this particular case. Same thing, similarly, same thing I'm trying to perform even over here. My variable name is different. So here I was trying to take I, here I have taken cabin. But again, apart from that, everything is same. Now here, if you will be able to find out, so it is going to return me a list. It is going to return me a list. Now, so what I will do is, so I will try to convert, or I will try to wrap it up inside a numpy array. So np.array, so that I will be able to convert this entire data into a numpy array format. So I'm just trying to perform this data type conversion. So from list to an array, and this is the reason. So I'm trying to call a numpy numerical python.array, and inside that, so I'm trying to provide the entire list, so that I will be able to perform a conversion operation, and then I'm trying to call a categorical. So we have already seen this pandas.categorical. Now what this pandas.categorical returns? So pandas.categoricals always try to returns a distinct data. This is what it is going to perform, or this is what it is going to do. So here, new cabin, I can try to show you. So if I'm talking about a pandas.categorical, so pandas.categorical is going to return what? So it is going to return that, okay, so what is a total distinct data, or what is a total distinct character with which my data set is going to start? Because what I have done over here, I was trying to read out the entire column. Then I have extracted only a zeroth, or I can say that I was trying to extract only a first character out of each and every data set which belongs to that column, that particular column cabin. And then on top of that, so I'm trying to call a categorical. And as we know that categorical always try to return that, okay, so what is a total number of the distinct data, or what is the total number of the categories which is available. So total number of categories which is available is equal to 8. And these are the categories which is available over here in this particular place. Now let's suppose if I wanted to change, if I wanted to create a column where I wanted to give some kind of an alias, or where I wanted to give some kind of a references, I will be able to give, or else here, so I'm trying to perform a describe operation. Here I'm trying to perform a describe operation. So suppose if I have asked you a question, saying that, okay, so how many data set we have inside our data set, this column, which is starting with the capital A. You can tell me easily just by looking into the description. So you can tell me easily that, okay, so there was basically like a 2 data set which was available inside my column called as cabin, which was starting with the A. If I'll ask you that, okay, so how many total number of the NN value which we had? So 125 NN value that we had. What is the total number of data which was starting with the C? So yes, there was 10 data which was starting with the C. So this is a kind of insights you will be able to get. So maybe I'm just trying to show you that, okay, so this is how you will be able to perform a data manipulation just by breaking it down into a bits and pieces, I would say. So if any requirement comes into a picture, if you have to do some kind of a data conversion or data transformation, yes, I will be able to do that. That's the whole idea behind having this kind of a discussion, I would say. Now, so we talked about that. Now here, so if I wanted to perform maybe some kind of a reassignment operation to some column cabin, so yes, I will be able to do that as well. So if I wanted to store this entire data, or if I wanted to store this entire categorical data inside maybe some kind of a string or somewhere, I can do that. Or maybe if I wanted to create a new column, and if I wanted to store this entire values, the output that we are able to get into a new column, I can do that as well. There won't be any issue. Now, so the next thing that we are going to perform is how we can try to play around with the like a series. So let's try to understand it. So here I had one list. And as you can see inside my list, so I have a multiple data. So I have this integer, I have this none. None is basically a null type. And then we have a none, and then we have an integer and all those things. Now let's suppose if I wanted to convert these things into a pandas compatible data format. So as we all know that pandas understands series and pandas understands a data frame. So here I'm trying to call pandas.series, and it's completely fine. It will be able to perform this kind of a conversion operation. And then so after doing this conversion, let's see if I'm trying to call these things. So it's completely fine. There was a list, and now it is going to convert my entire data into a series. The only difference is a visual difference that you will be able to find out in between a list and series is, so list is not going to show you the indexes, whereas series is going to show you the indexes. This is the series in which we have converted. Now let's suppose if I'm going to fire is null. So it is going to give me a true wherever your data set is having a value is equal to null, and it is going to give me a false wherever my data set is not having a null values. This is what is null kind of operation is going to perform. This is what is null kind of operation is going to give it to you. Now, so this is just a demo. This is just a demo which I have given to you. Now let's try to understand a next thing, the actual thing. So here what I'm trying to do is, so I'm trying to perform a selection operation. Selection operation of what? A simple age column. And then I'm trying to check. So here I'm just trying to select a age column. Let's try to break it down. So here I'm just trying to select a age column. So these are the age column data that we had. Now on top of that, if I'm going to fire is null, so what will happen? So it is going to return me a true wherever I have age is equal to null, and it is going to return me a false wherever age was not equal to null. It's as simple as that. So now if I'll try to execute it, so everywhere it's a false, but wherever age was not available, it is going to return me a true. Now, so what I will do is, so what I wanted to know is, I wanted to know, or maybe what is my requirement? Let's first of all, let's talk about a requirement. So let's suppose this is a data frame that we have. This is the data frame that we have. Now, out of this data frame, I wanted to extract only those data. I wanted to extract only those data where, so let's suppose I wanted to extract only this data where my age column was equal to null. So I wanted to write a condition in such a way that I will be able to extract only those data where my age value is equal to null, or maybe my age value and passenger class. So my age is equal to null and my passenger class is equal to class 2, or maybe something else, or maybe I wanted to write some kind of a condition. So how I will be able to write some kind of a condition to extract a data? So I can say that, okay, if I know, if I'm aware about, I would say like indexes. Somehow if I'll get to know that, okay, fine. So index for this particular row, I would say is 154. Easily I will be able to extract the data easily if I am aware about the indexes. And this is what we are going to find out in a first place. So let's try to understand how I will be able to find out the indexes. So as we all know that this is going to return a true, false, true, false, true, false kind of a thing. I'm going to write wherever it is equal to true. Now what it is going to return, let's try to understand it. So it is going to return a true and false. Now I'm trying to call numpy. Numpy is another package which we are going to discuss about it in next class in detail. So numpy.where, and I'm trying to call these particular things. Now what will happen? So if I'm going to call numpy.where, so it is going to return me indexes wherever it is going to return a true based on whatever condition you have written. So condition depends upon me, but wherever it is going to return a true, so it is going to return me the indexes. So let's suppose if it is going to return a true over here, so it is going to return me this indexes. So wherever age is null is equal to true based on this condition, so it is going to return me all the indexes. This is what where does. So with the help of where clause, I will be able to filter out each and everything. So here I'm able to get the indexes. So here I'm able to get the indexes. It is completely fine. So here I'm able to get an array. Array is basically a data type which belongs to a numpy. This is what we are going to discuss going forward. Now if I'll ask you in another way that, okay, tell me that what is a total number of the missing value that you had. So even just by looking into a description, the describe that we have discussed, just by looking into that description, you will be able to give me my answer. But there is a other way as well. So with the help of even this length operation, so let's suppose if I'm trying to call like a length, and then if I'm trying to pass this data, so missing is going to give you this one. Now inside this missing, you will be able to find out that we had an array. So if I'm going to call like a missing of a 0, you will be able to get this first data. Because if I'm going to show you only missing, you will be able to find out that we had this one data, and then we had another data, comma, which was blank basically. That's the reason. So if I just wanted to get the first one, that's the reason. So I'm trying to write over here 0. You are supposed to do the same thing. Now, so if I wanted to know that what is a total number of a missing data set that we have, yes, we have basically a 30 missing data. Now the next requirement that I have is, so I wanted to extract, or I wanted to see all the data or all the records which was having like where age is equal to, so age is equal to null. So how I will be able to see all of those data? So it's very easy. What I can do is a data frame. So what is my data frame name? Titanic train .loc. LOC is nothing but a location. So LOC is a location, and then there we can try to pass this indexes. So LOC is basically called as a location. So I'm trying to pass this entire array. So what is my missing? So my missing is this one. It's nothing but, I would say, it's a array. So I'm just trying to pass this one. So LOC is basically a location. So whenever you have to extract a row, so you are supposed to use LOC, ILOC, or IX. So I'll talk about like what is the difference between LOC, ILOC, and IX in some time. But you should understand that, okay, so these are the method by which you will be able to extract a row. Column wise, it was very easy. Column wise, just try to write a name, and then you will be able to extract the data. Simple. In case of a series or in case of a data frame, in both the cases. But I'm talking about how I will be able to get a row wise data. So here I'm trying to write like a data frame dot LOC, and then I'm trying to write a missing. If I'm going to execute it, you will be able to find out that yes, I'm able to get all the data which is available in this particular place. So yes, I'm able to get like all the data with respect to this indexes. Now if you'll check our age column, so yes, everywhere age column value is missing. This is the condition that we have written actually. So this is a data from all the column wherever age column was missing. So I can try to write any number of the condition, any kind of a condition, any combined condition over here, and based on that I will be able to extract a data very easily based on any of the condition that you are going to insert. Okay, so fine. This is what we have done. Now, next thing, again, let's try to perform a back-to-back filter kind of a operation. So here, again, I will try to perform some kind of a filter operation. So let's suppose I have a data frame. I have a data frame, this tiny data frame that I have. So this is the data frame that I have. Now I wanted to extract only a person name. Let's suppose this is the data frame that we have, and I wanted to extract a person name who has paid a maximum amount of a fare, or maybe, yeah. So this is what maybe a minimum amount of a fare, or maybe I wanted to like extract a person name. So maybe I wanted to extract a person name who has paid a fare is equal to 53.10 pound. So let's suppose if I wanted to extract that one, so how I will be able to extract it. So let's try to understand. So I wanted to extract only that person name, only those person name who has paid a maximum fare. That is my requirement out of this entire data frame. So somehow hypothetically I can say that, so if I will be able to extract only that particular row indexes wherever we have a maximum fare, so then I will be able to perform a column label selection operation to extract a name. And this is what we are going to do. So here I am going to call a fare column. So simple. And then, so if I'm going to call a fare column, let's try to do it step by step. So here I am trying to call a fare column, as you can see. So this is the fare column, total fare column. I'm trying to compare these things with a maximum. So is equal to maximum. So maximum of the Titanic fare I'm trying to extract, as you can see. So maximum on what is this maximum is going to give you. So maximum is going to give you a maximum data value in this entire fare column. So it is going to return basically 263. So this is what a maximum is going to return. Fine. Now, if I'm trying to check that, okay, fine. So fare is equal to maximum. So it is going to return with true, false, true, false, true, false kind of a thing. So wherever fare will be equal to a maximum fare, it will be true, because this is the condition which I have written. And wherever it will be true, so I'm trying to pass this statement inside where, inside a numpy.where clause. So if I'm going to pass these things inside a numpy.where clause, so it is going to give me a indexes. It is going to give me a indexes of only those places where this condition is equal to true. So it's completely fine. I'm trying to pass this indexes inside this LOC, and I will be able to get a data. So fare. So wherever, like I'm able to get the record basically over here, as you can see that wherever fare is equal to maximum. So this is the place where fare is equal to maximum. Now my requirement is to extract the person name I will be able to extract a person name very easily out of this one. So these are the two person who has paid a maximum fare. As simple as that. As you can see, it's very simple. So it's not at all a big deal by which you will not be able to extract anything. So simple, you will be able to get first of all you will be able to get the indexes, and based on the indexes, so you will be able to extract a data easily. Now here what I'm trying to do is, so I'm trying to merge two columns. So if you wanted to merge two columns, and then if you wanted to override one, or maybe after merging, so if you wanted to if you wanted to store this data into some new column, you can do that basically. So here what I'm trying to do is, so I'm trying to call Titanic train CSP. So Titanic train, this one I'm trying to call plus Titanic train patch. So here this and this I'm trying to call, and I'm trying to perform the addition operation. So in both the column we have basically a numerical data type. So in case of a numerical data type, so it is going to perform this addition operation, and then I'm trying to store these things inside the family column. So this is the total number of the family which was available with respect to one particular record. Now, so I want you to extract that. Okay, so what is a person name who was having a maximum family size who has onboarded? You can do that basically. So you are going to perform this kind of operations on top of a family column. So you are going to compare that. Okay, fine. So wherever we have a maximum value of the family column, so give me that particular value. So you are going to write like a np.where and then this one. It's as simple as that. And then, so last time I was using LOC. LOC is basically like a location which I was trying to use. And yes, I was able to extract a data. Now here I'm trying to use another one that is called as a IX, and let's try to understand it. So here it is going to give you that IX is a deprecated one. So maybe in a next release of a Python or maybe a pandas patch, so this IX will not be available. As of now, yes, it is available, but it's a deprecated one. You are going to get a warning. So this is basically a warning. So you're not supposed to worry about that. It's completely fine. Warning is not going to harm you. It's not an error. Now, so here I'm trying to call Titanic train.ix, and then I'm trying to pass this particular value inside this one. So ix also takes, I would say, like indexes. So based on the indexes like ilog. So ilog takes basically what? A row index. Again, going forward, I'll tell you that it takes a row indexes as well as a column indexes. But as of now, just for some time, so just try to understand it. So I'm trying to pass a row indexes. Here also, I'm trying to pass a row indexes. And yes, I'm able to extract the data with the help of ilog and with the help of ix. What is the difference between ilog and ix? I will be talking about a difference between log, ilog and ix. There is a three things: ix, log and ilog, as you can see. And all these three things is been used basically based on a different kind of a situation. So I will be talking about a difference between all these three by showing you an example, enough number of examples. So there is a difference you will be able to find out between a ix, log and ilog. I will be talking about that very soon, because I talked about the log, I talked about the ix. Once I'll talk about the ilog, then I'll talk about this one. So yes, we have seen that. So based on the conditions, so I will be able to extract maybe a row or maybe a column. It's very easy. It's not a big deal at all to extract any kind of a data out of this one. And there are many more variety of the extraction which is possible, which I will be talking about going forward. So it's a huge chapter, I would say. Now here, so what I have done, so I'm just trying to import a package, and then I'm trying to take a list. As you can see, I'm trying to take basically like again a list. So here it's a list of the character, here it's a list of the integer which I have taken, and here, so after that I'm trying to take maybe an array. So array, np.array I'm trying to write, and I'm trying to take this entire my data I'm trying to pass. And what is my data? So my data is nothing but, so my data over here in this particular place is nothing but it's a list which I have taken. So it's completely fine. This is the my data which I have taken. This is a list of the numerical values. I'm trying to convert this numerical value into an array, as you can see. So array is nothing but it's a kind of a data type that you will be able to encounter into a NumPy, end-to-end array and matrices. So these are the two kind of a data type that you are going to observe or you are going to find out. So it's completely fine, and here we have a dictionary. So here what I'm trying to do is nothing. I'm just trying to declare a different variety of the data type so that I will be able to show you a variety of the equation, or I will be able to show you a different kind of operations in this particular place. So it's completely fine, guys. So here I'm just trying to create like a array or maybe a list or maybe a dictionary I'm trying to keep, and then out of that, here I'm not doing anything. So actual things is going to happen actually in this particular place. So what I wanted to do is, so let's suppose if I have this list kind of a data, and if I wanted to convert these things into a pandas compatible data format, so maybe I can try to convert these things into a series, or maybe I can try to convert these things into a data frame. So how I will be able to perform this kind of a data conversion? So let's try to understand it. So here I'm not trying to perform anything else except I would say a simple data type conversion. So what I will do is I will try to convert, I'll try to show you that how to convert maybe a list data type or maybe a dictionary data type or maybe a array kind of a data type into a different kind of a data. So let's try to perform this operation. So here I'm going to execute it, and then I'm trying to write data is equal to my data. So data is equal to my data. Now if I'm going to execute it, so what you are able to observe. So I have passed basically 10, 20 and 30. This was something which was available inside my data. Now, so 10, 20 and 30, and I'm trying to convert this data into a series. It's completely fine. I'm able to convert it. And as we know that if we are trying to convert something into a series, so for sure it is going to give you its own default indexes. Its own default indexes it is trying to give it to you. So 0, 1, 2, yes, it's completely fine. So this is the default indexes. It is going to give it to me. Now let's suppose if I wanted to give my own index name, so whether I will be able to do that or not. So yes, for sure I will be able to do that. So I'm trying to write index is equal to labels. Now what is my labels? So these are my labels. So I'm trying to give index is equal to this one. And as you can see, now my index is not a default one. Now my index is basically ABC. So it has replaced 0 with A, and then with 1 with B, and then 2 with C. So this is what it is able to perform, and this is how it is able to perform the data conversion operation. So it's completely fine. So it is able to perform this data conversion operation. Now here, so pandas.series, and then here, so I have shown you that, okay, how you will be able to convert your list into a series. That is completely fine. Similarly, again, whether it's a list or whether it's an array, the next thing which I'm going to talk about. So it's not a big deal at all. So it's basically it's same. So here you will be able to find out that yes, I'm able to convert even array into a series. It's completely fine. Here you will be able to find out that I'm able to convert maybe different labels, I would say, into a series. Labels is what? Labels is nothing but I can say it was nothing but it was my list. So I'm able to convert every kind of a data into a series. It's not a big deal whether it's a array, whether it's a list with a numerical value, whether it's a list with a categorical value, whether it's a list with a heterogeneous value, homogeneous value, not a problem at all. I will be able to perform this kind of a data type conversion. Now here you will be able to observe some of the interesting things. So here you will be able to observe that I'm trying to call pandas.series and data is equal to, so here I have taken some print and length. This is not a string, just observe it, just observe over here. So this is not a string which I'm trying to take. This is what? This is basically a, I can say, inbuilt or predefined keyword which is available inside a Python. So sum is a predefined keyword, print is a predefined keyword, length is a predefined keyword. So if I'm trying to give a predefined keyword, then what happens? Again, This is of no use. You can ask me like, what is the use of this one? No use, I would say. I'm just trying to show you that, okay, fine. So this kind of operations are possible. Just for that sake, I'm trying to show you these things, nothing else. So here you will be able to find out that, okay, so I'm trying to put maybe a inbuilt keyword over here, and based on the inbuilt keyword, so it is trying to tell me that, okay, so built-in function sum, built-in function print, built-in function length. So it is able to observe this sum or print or length easily by itself. So it is able to observe that, okay, so these are the inbuilt function which is already available inside my data. Simple. It's of no use. I'm just trying to show you that, okay, so whether my system is able to recognize this keyword or not. And yes, I'm able to find out that my system is able to recognize all of those inbuilt keyword. That is completely fine. Now, so the next thing which I'm going to show you is, so here I'm trying to call pandas.series, and as a data, so I'm trying to pass d.keys. What is my d? D is nothing but dictionary. This is what we have created. D is nothing but this one, dictionary. Now, if I'm going to fire dictionary.keys, I think we all have studied this part. Dictionary.keys is going to give you all the key. Dictionary.values is going to give you all the values. Dictionary.item is going to give you all the items. Items is pair of key value pair, I would say. So here, if you are going to fire dictionary.keys, so if you are going to fire this dictionary.keys with the bracket, so in this case, it is going to give you data. Otherwise, it is going to give you an object. So here also, you will be able to find out the same thing. Again, you can ask me that, what is the use of this? No use. I'm just trying to show you some kind of a operation that, okay, fine. So this kind of operations are even possible. Simple. It's of no use in a real time. Now, so here what I'm going to do is, so let's try to understand this part. So here I'm trying to call pandas.series, and this is basically a data which I'm trying to pass. So I'm trying to pass 1, 2, 3, 4 in this particular place. Now, so 1, 2, 3, 4, if I'm trying to pass in this particular place, in case of a pandas.series, if I'm trying to pass 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, so let's try to build these things without this data. Let me remove this part. So here, if I'm going to pass maybe just a list, so, and if I'll try to show you that how this data looks like, so it looks like in this way. And as you can see, we have a default indexes. We all know that series is going to give you a default indexes. This is how it looked like. Now, so if I wanted to rename, these things with my own indexes, yes, I can try to provide a list of indexes as well, and always make sure that list of indexes is equal to the number of the data. Otherwise, you are going to get an issue. So as you can see in this particular place, that it is able to give all of those indexes. So it's completely fine. It is able to give me all of those indexes in this particular case. Not an issue. It's completely fine. So I'm able to give indexes for each and every data. So I'm able to give indexes for each and every data set, my own indexes. Now, so I'm able to give indexes for each and every data set. Now here, so what I can try to do is, so maybe I can try to access a data. With the help of indexes. So maybe if I can try to fire series 0. Now series 0 is equal to 1. Now let me show you in this way. So this is my data. As you can see. Now series 1 if I'm going to give, and if I'm going to write series 1 0, if I'm going to execute it, it is going to give me 1. So series 0, so at 0th location it is trying to give me this data set is equal to 1. Now, so why it is giving me this data? Because what I have done is I have overwritten the indexes. Now I have changed the indexes. Now this is the categorical indexes which I have given. These are the name of the indexes which I have given over here. So why it is going to give me a data? Okay, so here there is a series 0. So series of 0 if I'm trying to extract. So series of 0 if I'm trying to extract over here, you are able to find out that, okay, so it is trying to give me a data at a 0th position. Why it is giving me data at a 0th position? Because I have already renamed these things as an index CA, basically. Now if I try to type maybe a 1 over here, now it is giving me this data. Why it is giving me this data? There is no indexes that you are able to find out as of now. As of 1, there is no such indexes which is even available in this particular place. So why I am able to get this data? Now let's try to understand it. So, and again, let's suppose if I'm going to give maybe a CA. Now what will happen? Again, if I have given CA, so it is trying to give me this data. If I'm trying to give like aged over here, aged. So if I'm trying to give aged, it is trying to give me this data. So we are able to find out that although we have changed the name of the indexes, although we have renamed the indexes, but still my system is able to understand a default one, which was nothing but a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the named one. So this is basically a label that we have given, CA or 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 CO or agent, whatever label I wanted to give, I can give it basically. So this is the label that we have given. System is able to understand this one, as well as at the same point of time. So system is able to understand, I would say, 0, 1, 2, 3 as well, the default one. So system is able to understand both the category, both the things, I would say. So it's completely fine. So if I'm going to like fire maybe default indexes, or if I'm going to fire maybe the indexes which you are able to see, or labeled indexes. So in both the cases, I'm able to extract the data without any if and but. It's completely fine. I'm able to extract the data. Now, so it's completely fine. This is what I'm trying to do over here, nothing else. So again, based on the default indexes, I'm trying to extract the data. Again, so as we all know that if I'm looking for some kind of a range of the data in between, so I can try to perform a list kind of operation, list like operation, and then I will be able to perform that operation as well. Now here, so I have created a 2 series. There is a series 1 and there is a series 2. Now I'm trying to perform a addition operation. Let's suppose I'm trying to perform an addition operation in between a series 1 and series 2, and then I'm going to print a series 3, let's suppose. So this is something that I'm able to get. So how it is able to perform an addition operation? So it will try to perform an addition operation based on the label indexes. So let's suppose I have a CA over here, I have a CA over here. So CA 1 and 1. So CA is equal to 2. Now I have a OR over here, I have a OR over here. So 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. So OR is equal to 4. I have a CO over here, but I don't have a CO in this particular place. So in this case, it will not try to perform any operations. So CO is equal to null. Now I have a agent over here, I have a agent over here. So 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. This is what it is going to perform. And then NV. So I have an NV over here, but I don't have an NV in the series 1. So again, I will be able to get a NaN value. Now again, it will create a lot of confusion. So let me add something in this particular place. So let me try to add maybe a more amount of a CA in this particular place. So let's suppose I have again, order doesn't matter. It's simple, like it will try to do a mapping, 1-to-1 mapping. It is going to perform. So maybe I have like a OR over here in this particular place, OR that I have. So this is the indexes that I have created. Now let's try to do one thing. So let me try to like increase some kind of a data. Okay. So let's try to understand this particular part. What has happened? So here in this particular case, so I'm trying to perform the summation operation. It always try to perform a summation operation based on the indexes. So whatever operation. So based on, it's an index wise operation. So I have a CA over here, and I have a CA over here, and I have a, okay. So I have a CA over here, I have a CA over here, and then I have a CA in this particular place. So in this CA, I have 1. So try to perform CA. For CA, let's suppose, so 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So CA is equal to 2. Yes, I'm able to get it. Again, I have a CA over here. So it will try to perform again this operation. So CA plus CA, simple. So index wise concatenation operation, this is a 6. I have a OR over here, I have a OR over here. So it's completely fine. OR 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. I have a OR over here, I have a OR over here. So basically 2 plus 4 is equal to 6. So basically try to take all the permutation combination, like all the possibilities, all the combination it is going to take, and then finally it is going to give you the final output. If there are some indexes which is available in this place and the same indexes is not available in the other series, so in that case for sure it is going to give you a null value. This is how this series index operation it is going to perform. So it's just an index operation that it is going to perform. Similar thing will happen in case of multiplication. So it's basically a index wise operation that you will be able to find out in this particular place. Now here again I'm trying to perform the same operation. So just trying to show you like some kind of a mathematical operation. I'm trying to call numpy dot exponential. So it will try to find out the exponent of the entire series, plus it will try to find out the series 1, and it will try to find out logarithmic of the series 2, and then it is trying to perform the addition operation. Simple. It's a index wise operation. It will be able to perform. Now here, so let's try to perform this operation. So here in this particular case, so we are going to show you that what is a meaning of a LOC, what is a meaning of a ILOC, and many more things. So like what is a meaning of a drop, I would say, or what is a meaning of a IX. So each and every different kind of a definition you will be able to find out, and you will be able to understand in this particular section. So let's try to focus over here. So I'm trying to call numpy.random, import random as Rn. So basically random is a function which is available now. So with the help of that I will be able to generate a random data. Now I have given seed. So numpy.random.seed. Now what is the meaning of seed? In many places you must have seen that seed, and going forward you will be able to encounter there is something called as a random state in your machine learning class, in a first class itself. So here, what is the meaning of seed? So let's try to perform one small experiment, and I think it will be clear your doubts for a lifetime. So see what happens is, if I'm going to execute again and again, so you will be able to find out that my data value is not changing, 2.70, 0.6281 and all those things. So my data value is not changing. Doesn't matter how many times we are going to execute it. Let's suppose if I'm going to comment out, this seed, in this case, what will happen? So see, my data value has changed. Now again, if I'll try to execute, my data value has changed. Again, if I'm going to execute, my data value has changed. Again, my data value has changed, because I'm trying to call a rand_n. So rand_n always try to return a random value on a normal standard distribution, Now what is the standard normal distribution? I will be talking about this in your statistics class. Wait for that. Basically, like I told you, there is something called as a Gaussian distribution, normal distribution, or like a standard normal distribution. So each and everything I will be talking about in your statistics class. So here you will be able to find out that yes, I'm trying to call this rand_n. Now inside a rand_n, I'm trying to give a dimension. I'm trying to give 5 cross 4, means 5 row, 4 columns. So I'm trying to say that, okay, fine, do one thing. So try to generate an array, right? Because rand_n is what? Rand_n is a function which belongs to a numpy. So in numpy, it always generates an array. I would say numpy always deal with the array and matrices. Apart from that, numpy never deals with any other things. So I wanted to generate some random data. That is what my requirement was, as simple as that. So here I'm trying to generate a data, 5 cross 4. This is what I have given. So 5 row and 4 column. In this particular case, I'm trying to give. Now, so if I'm trying to execute it again and again and again, you will be able to find out that data is going to change. Data is going to change every time. But if I'm going to keep my numpy.random.seed is equal to some constant. So in this case, my data set is not going to change. Now, if you are going to take a same constant, if constant number, it could be anything. It could be anything you can take. So if it's not like whatever constant I have taken, you are supposed to take the same constant. But if you are trying to take some kind of a constant, in that case, if my constant and your constant is same, so in that case, my data, randomly generated data, will be equal to your randomly generated data set. You can try this out. So you can try this out with 100. So maybe whatever data I'm able to see in my screen, you will be able to see a same data in your screen as well. This is what happens in case of a random seed operation. If you are going to set, so randomly it is trying to select the data. For sure, all the data are random. Whatever data we are able to see over here, all this data set is random. There is no doubt with respect to that. But even into a randomness, if you wanted to generate again the same random data, same random subset, I would say it is possible if you are going to set a seed is equal to some constant. So in that case, some constant means it could be anything. It depends upon you. So what kind of a constant you are going to take, it is not going to affect, because we are generating a random data. So this is the meaning of a seed operation. Many people gets confused. So just to clarify that doubt, so seed always try to give you a constant random value, means same random value again and again and again. So I'm trying to generate an array in this particular case. So once I will be able to generate an array, so my requirement will be to convert this data into a data frame. And this is what I'm going to do. So here, what I will do is, so I will try to call pandas.dataframe. So here I will try to call pandas.dataframe, and inside that, so I'm trying to pass this matrix data. So this is the matrix data that we have. I'm going to pass. Now, if I'll try to pass it inside this matrix data, like inside the data frame, automatically it will be able to convert. So easily I'm able to convert my array, which was having like a 5 cross 4 and the dimension 5 row 4 column. I'm able to convert those things into this particular data frame. It's completely fine. As you can see, like there is a column indexes it has given, and there is a row indexes which it has given. Now let's suppose if I wanted to give my own column name, and let's suppose if I wanted to give my own row name, whether I will be able to give or not. So yes, I will be able to give it. So here I can try to write maybe a index. Now index is nothing but row for sure. So I can try to give any kind of a categorical value, even my name, your name, doesn't matter at all. So in this way, you will be able to find out that yes, I'm able to give a indexes A, B, C, D, E. So A, B, C, D, E, this is the indexes which has been given. Now, whether I will be able to give a column name or not, yes, we can give a column name. Just you have to override the parameter called as column. That's it. And then column heading. What is column heading? So I'm just trying to pass a list over here. Simple. So if I'm going to execute it now, column heading is not defined. Now it will be defined. So here you will be able to find out that yes, I'm able to convert my random array into a data frame, and then I'm able to give my row name, and then I'm able to give my column name. So each and every operations I'm able to perform. In this particular case, there is no if and but. Okay. So here you will be able to find out that yes, I'm able to give my like a column name, I'm able to give my row name. This is what I'm trying to perform even over here. It's the same thing. Now, so we all know that, okay, so this is our data, and let's suppose if I'm going to store these things into a variable called as df. So it's completely fine inside a variable df. If I'm trying to store it, and if I'll try to show you this df, this is how this df looks like. This is the data frame that we have. Now, if I wanted to extract maybe a particular column, I will be able to extract it. We don't have any issue with the extraction of the column. I will be able to extract it very easily, any kind of a column out of this one. Now, so even if I wanted to extract maybe like some row, let's suppose if I have given you a condition that, okay, fine, so do one thing. So try to give me a value, or try to give me a data where x value is equal to 0.81. So I think all of you will be able to do that. So you just have to write like a np.where, where, and then inside that what you have to do is, so a data frame, and then you have to do a column selection. So maybe I can try to select maybe a x over here in this particular case, and then is equal to, you can try to write equal to this value, equal to this value. So it is going to 847. So 848168447. Okay, so I just want to know the location. So yeah, so why it is giving you blank? Because here you are able to see only this data, but this is not the actual data. So the actual data is going to extend till 9th or 10th decimal point. That's the reason. So even if I'm going to give this kind of a things, so it is not going to give me any kind of a indexes in this particular place. So in this way, for sure I will not be able to extract the data. This is what I wanted to show you. If I have some kind of a randomly generated data, again, if I'm going to chop it off, if I'm going to chop off till certain decimal point, in that case, for sure, I will be able to see that. But whatever data is visible to you internally, this is not how this data set has been represented. It's a long data set. It's a long value which it is trying to represent. It is not showing you each and every values in this particular place. So it is completely fine. So it is not going to give me like indexes in this way, and I will not be able to access this one. But there are other ways as well by which I will be able to access it. Let's try to understand. So here I'm just trying to access maybe a X column, I would say. So it's completely fine. As we all know that I will be able to extract a single column. I will be able to extract a multiple column. There is no doubt in case of a multiple column extraction of the data frame. So I have to pass a multiple column name inside a list. We all are aware about that. Let's suppose if I have to call just a single column. So in this case, what I can do is, so I can try to call a data frame.x. So let's suppose this is the data frame that we have. I have to access maybe a Z column. So I can try to write data frame name, df, which is the name. And then I can try to write one column name, Z. And even in this case, so it will be able to access like a Z column data set. This is also possible in case of a single column extraction. Or else you can try to write it down inside the bracket. That is also possible. Here you will be able to find out that I'm trying to show you that how to create a new column. It's the same thing that we have discussed, nothing fancy. So here you will be able to find out that I'm trying to create a new column. So I've just given name is equal to new. So we all know that if we have to overwrite something, so I just have to give a same column name. If I have to create a new column, simple, I will try to give a new name. So this new column value is nothing but it's a summation of a X column and a Z column. This is what I'm trying to give as a new column name value. And then another column which I'm trying to create new sum of X and Z. And again, so I'm trying to perform the summation operation. I can perform multiplication, summation, division, whatever I want. I can perform it and I can keep it over there. So this is something that we have done in terms of a data manipulation. Now we have to discuss a lot like what is the axis, and then how I will be able to perform a delete operation, how I can perform a drop operation, what is a difference between LOC, ILOC and IX, many things, many data manipulation we have to perform. And again, so we have to perform a data filter operation as well. So I'll talk about that, single condition, multiple condition, data filter operation. So probably in tomorrow's class, I will be talking about that. And again, so we have to talk about like a join condition as well. And we have to talk about like a multi-indexes as well. So I'll be talking about all of those things in a tomorrow's class. So this is all about, guys, like today's class. This is what I had to discuss. So if anyone is having any kind of a question, you can try to raise a hands and maybe I can take a couple of questions. I think we have already replied most of the question in your Q&A, but still, so if you have any kind of questions, we can go for that. And those who don't have a questions, they can drop off.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay, hi, it's Akshay here. I have a question like if you have a column, in that respective column, we have the data as a dictionary, then how exactly can we access that respective dictionary?
No, so if I have a column and inside that, if I have a data as a dictionary, so I think in last class, what I have done is, so I was trying to create, I was trying to load some kind of a data from the JSON file.
Yes,
and
yes,
inside
correct.
that JSON, so in one of the column, I had a dictionary, right? So simple,
Yes,
I'll try
correct.
to call the column. And then if I'm able to, it's a very simple operation, not a big deal. I think you have not tried that one.
Actually, I was trying to convert it to a dictionary by using the AS type, but it was, I was getting
See,
a failure.
if this is the data, suppose inside this one, if I have a dictionary, right? So can I say that this will be the dictionary and this will be the dictionary and this will be the dictionary?
Correct, correct.
Right? So if I'm able to access these things, can I say that my work will be done?
I'm able to access that. I'm able to access that respective column, and I mean that respective, like say 0.09, but I'm not able to access the keys of that respective dictionary.
Okay, so in that case, you will have to do a JSON conversion operation. So just try to check what is the default data type that you are able to receive. So
yeah, the default data type is object. I try to convert it to the string, and then from string we need to convert it to the JSON. Is that the correct way, or is there any some simpler way to access all the keys over there? You can search it with the request. It was one example which I have provided, that import request, and then the URL was provided from the GitHub.
Okay, so here can I say that inside the labels column we have this data, right?
Correct, this one. Yeah.
So
This
inside
is
the
the
label
exact one.
column, so label column, so we have a data set in this particular place. So
Yeah.
what I can do is, so this is the issue. Issue is the data frame name.
So the ID, node ID, all those things, that how exactly can we access that one?
So this is the data that we have. Now maybe I can try to write a validation over here. That is also fine. So as of now, I don't want to write a validation. So maybe I can try to access this one. Now if you try to check this data type, it will going to give you a list for sure. Type of this one is equal to list that this is what I'm able to get now. So let's suppose I wanted to access the data like a ID out of this one, not an issue. So what I can do is off a zeros, and then so off, got it.
Okay, and suppose as of now this was a list, and if we have a string, then we need to convert the string to a
Not an
list, and then we
issue.
have to access.
Simple, yeah. So anything is possible. That's completely fine. Doesn't matter what kind of data type we have. How does it matter at all?
Got it.
Right.
All right, got it.
Sir, in the pandas practice in the dashboard, sir, you have provided a URL, but sir, that URL is not working. It's showing 404 error.
Which one?
Sir, in the pandas practice in the dashboard.
Yeah, which one? Which
yes,
one?
sir, the first file.
First file?
Yes, sir.
Pandas practice, this one?
Yes, sir.
I think I have given you 2 practice assignment, and I'm able to open up this first practice as you can see in front of you, right?
Yes,
and
sir.
even I'm able to open the second one.
Sir, the
second one? First one?
Sir. Yes, sir. The which you have opened.
Okay, which one? Both I have opened, see?
No, sir. Pandas practice. Yeah, this one. This URL is not working.
No, sir. Every URL is working, as you can see in my system, right? So, which URL you want me to open?
Yes, sir,
this URL, first one or second one?
The first one.
First one.
Yes.
Okay, fine. See, everyone is able to practice these things. No one has raised a concern. I think there is some issue with your system. You can check that out.
Click on this URL
because
like http raw.github. Sir, it's showing like no, sir. It's opening, but the URL is not working. Sir, it's opening. It's opening. I am saying that the code which you have written, like GitHub code, which you have provided in Python.
Okay, the get code, that's the region. That's the region. So I have provided you a data set as well. I think you have not looked into that part. So I have provided you a separate data set in this particular part, so that here is a data set which I have already provided you. Data set for Python practice, right? Okay. And I have clearly mentioned over here that this is the beer serving data set, this is the kind report data set, this is the car data set, which we are actually using in all of those practice assignments. Okay. Making sense?
Okay, sir. Sorry, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, sir. Just look into that.
Hello, Sudhanshu.
Yeah.
Hello.
Go ahead with your question.
Sudhanshu, this is Nisha. I just want to know, as we can rename these indexes, but this seems to be like constant thing. Can we do it like dynamically? Because in some cases we do not know.
So if we can do it like this way, so I think we can do it dynamically as well, right? So as per my requirement, so yes, I think I will be able to change it. It's just an argument that we have to pass. It's just one like a variable that we have to override. So I think I will be able to do it, because over here, so wherever I have written my like index column name, so it could possible that I can try to provide maybe some kind of a data value from my maybe inputs from some kind of a file, or maybe input from the console, or maybe input from the user. So yes, that is absolutely possible.
Like for and range, we can do it like that.
Yes, those things are possible. That is not a big deal at all. You can try this out. Okay.
Okay.
Hello, Sudhanshu. I want to ask a question. Like when we type a data frame dot the columns list, we can see the columns list, and when we type data frame into list, what is the difference between that?
Data frame into list?
data frame dot, when we try to enter data frame dot, then we can see in suggestions list of columns.
Okay, so df dot and then
Yes.
list of columns. This is what you're saying. So
Yes.
fine, yeah, I can give like a list of column. It's
No,
nothing
my
but it's
question is that
both are same actually. So this operation and then df and this x operation, if you're going to do, both are identical operation.
okay.
Both are same. Nothing
Thank you.
different.
Sudhanshu, in df.describe,
Yeah.
can we able to find out the outliers by you looking at the df.describe?
Somehow, but this is not a proper way. I'll tell you going forward in your video like how you can find out the actual outliers. Yeah, but somehow it is not a robust way of doing that. So fine, guys. I think like we have taken a question. So let's try to practice it. It just comes from the practice, nothing. It's a very easy things I would say. Pandas always makes your life very easy. So in terms of a data manipulation, I have given you a practice assignment as well. Just try to practice as much as possible. The more you will practice, more you will be able to do any kind of a manipulation. Like I told you, it's just accessing data set based on the indexes, based on the columns, and based on some kind of a condition. That's it. This is how we always access the data set from the table. There are many perspectives that you are going to get, many complex part as well. And that's the reason. So I've given you practice plus I have given you the assignment part. So just try to make sure that you are going to perform all of those operations by yourself. Data set is already given to you. So before looking into or before asking question, please make sure that you have observed each and everything by yourself. Because whenever we try to upload something, we cross check. Even if some single person has raised a concern, so we try to change it immediately into a dashboard so that other people will not face the same kind of a thing. So with that, guys, fine. Thank you so much. And tomorrow we have a class again on same time, and we'll try to talk about the same thing. So we'll try to continue with the same kind of a discussion. With this, thank you so much. Have a great day ahead. And one more thing, one more announcement. So we have like an architecture discussion class that we have initiated. So those who are interested, so they can join that particular class. This is basically a community class, which is going to happen from 3 o'clock. I think most of you are aware about this community classes that we are conducting for data analytics. I would say like a Power BI and Tableau, separate Python classes we are conducting, and then so separate data architecture, data science architecture plus resume discussions we are conducting. So if you are interested, you can try to join that one. And yes, it's just a community class, nothing else. So I'll send you the invitation for the same, and feel free to join in that class. So with that, thank you so much. Have a great day ahead.